Hey guys, how's it going? Go See Rich here. So today I'm going to be doing some looming. As you can see, I've got wire running everywhere, and it's nice. But the problem is as you can see, it's bare. One, it looks really tacky. But the thing is, I'm going to be adding some loom today. So figured I'd show you guys a video on it. So this is the before. As you can see, we have a wire right there, which is running through right there, and they all go to the grommet. But the problem is the wire is exposed. I mean, when you're looking at big thick power cable like that on the top, like in the engine bay, that's fine. But something like that where you can actually like strip it with your fingernail usually isn't the best. And the reason why is if you do it to something like that, it can strip easily and short, which is a very bad thing. So what you usually do is you grab some loom like this and you put it on there. It also protects it from heat, so that way it doesn't melt through there. The loom stuff is very good as long as you don't buy the cheap stuff. If you buy really cheap loom, sometimes it'll melt really easily and just a bunch of things like that. Mind you, loom is loom. As long as it's giving you that extra protection over your wire, you're fine. So cases where you want to use this is like when you're running wire under the hood. You can use it on big thicker wire like this if you'd like to. I don't because of how strong that wire usually is, but better safe than sorry. If you want to, throw it on there. Oh, and the other time I use it is if you are going to be running big cables or anything like that for a long stretch under the car. That way, if any rock, debris, or you scrape against it anything while you're driving, it doesn't strip the wire and short it, or just things like that. It just gives you that extra protection, kind of like doing a rocker guard undercoat to your bottom of your car. It protects it that much more, so why not, right? So that's one reason why. And other than that, I will let you see the after. So stay tuned and I will show you what it looks like after I'm done. Hey guys, so as you can see here, I have got all the wire loom now. So as you can see, it blends better, right? It looks a heck of a lot more tidy. It gives you a little bit more protection. That way, if you're running it along things, you're fine. So, some quick tips on looming. See how I went off the hanger, not the tube? The reason why is because that's going to have air or something moving through it. So you don't want to cut off a tube by accident, you know, zapping too tight. So you might as well just quickly zap strap off the hanger, which is what I did there. So I just mainly went off of hangers because that's the best way to do it. And right here, once again, didn't zap strap on the tube, zap strapped right onto the hanger, and that goes, and I zap strapped it once under the motor cover there. And yeah, it's just been basically a bunch of that. And I did that one right in there, goes all the way through to our hood pin. And yeah, so the main reason why you do this, especially if you're running stuff to the battery, is that way if you're running an alarm, say straight to the battery, they can't tell which wires are which when it's loomed. I mean, if you have your wires exposed, if someone's really good with alarms, they know which wire's going where, but this way it kind of makes them guess a little, right? So, this was my opinion. Just, you know, if you have the loom, if you have the time, I would loom whatever you're putting under the hood. It makes it look a heck of a lot nicer. The only reason why I haven't done the thicker wires is because I don't need to. They've got a very thick, strong protection. And let's face it, amplifier wiring's fine, but when you're trying to hide little wires or protect little wires, it's much better to loom. And it keeps them protected, right? That's the whole reason why you do it. So if you're going to be doing stuff under the car, like a backup camera or something, I highly suggest doing that because the sheath they put on the backup camera wires usually isn't that strong. But say something like a satellite radio antenna wire, satellite radio antenna wires are actually very strong. You can't peel them back with a nail, but it's still easy to, you know, scratch. So if you want to, go right ahead. I mean, then it makes it blend, right? Then all the wires look the same and looks OEM under the hood. Basically makes your setup look a heck of a lot nicer. So, that's just my tips with the looming. As for wiring and running it, if you take a look at this piece that I have right here, you can see that the loom has like a zipper on it. So that way, once you have all your solder joints done and everything, you can separate this a little, and then you get this started on the wire. Then what I suggest doing is zap strapping or taping the tip of it. Don't zap strap it tight, just tape it or tape it tight. All you want to do is make it so that way when you're threading it, as I call it, or pushing it along the wire, it doesn't the tip doesn't slip off and you get that stupid thing where you're feeding it and it just keeps feeding off. That way, if you're going into, say, an area like that where you can't see into and correct the mistake, it won't separate from the tip and you can just keep feeding it and feeding it, alright? And then when it comes to joints, what I suggest is when say you run out of loom and you only have a little bit left, I suggest overlapping and then zap strap. So you overlap the two and then zap strap. Don't just butt it together like that and then zap strap each side, because then it still exposes the wire. Just overlap it so one piece is overlapped onto here and then zap strap it on there, and then it's all hidden. You can see that I did that right here. See how it's overlapped? So that's basically what I'm talking about. Just make sure you're doing that when you're running loom. Other than that, loom is pretty easy. It's cheap and it protects your wiring, so why not? Anyways, I hope you liked the video. Thanks again for watching. Like it if you found it interesting, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see my new videos that are coming out, and be sure to check out my old videos. You might find them interesting. Alright, thanks again for watching. Have a great day.